Hey friends, welcome back to Creating Inner Beauty. I'm Liz and I wanted to share with you today a new Oracle deck that I got, the Inner Temple Oracle by Rebecca Campbell, artwork by Katie Louise. I just got this deck about a week or a week and a half ago, and I haven't looked at any of the cards yet or really opened up the box. I just took off the plastic wrap out of the box right before I started filming. And so I thought I would do this with you guys and share it with you. I've been wanting to get back into filming some YouTube videos, and I thought it would be fun to start with just something light and fun, like a deck unboxing to get me going in the video filming mood and to share one of my favorite kinds of tools with you guys. I love using tarot and oracle cards both in my practice, which you may know if you've been here before. I'm an intuitive coach and I help my clients with intuitive guidance by using tarot and oracle cards in our sessions at times. And I also love them for my personal practice, for helping myself get in contact with my own intuition, receive messages from my guides, and they're just a big part of my personal spiritual practice. So definitely love Oracle decks, and they're fun and they're beautiful art and I like to collect them. So there's a multiple of reasons why I wanted to share this. And in terms of this particular deck, why I chose this, I do like Rebecca Campbell's work, and I only have one or other Oracle deck by her, which was her first Oracle with Danielle Noel, the Work Your Light Oracle. And I like that one. I don't use it that much anymore, but it was a big part of my journey for a period of time several years ago. And then when I saw this one was coming out, I was really intrigued by how different the artwork seemed to be, at least on the surface from the box and the few cards that I saw. And I thought it might fill out a little bit of a different space in my collection and be a different kind of tool I could use with my clients than her first Oracle was. I'm always looking for Oracle decks that are not going to do just the same thing over and over in my personal practice or my work with clients, but sort of have their own unique voices and unique things to add. So that's what I was on the hunt for. And I saw this and I thought it looked really beautiful. And I decided to order it and I received it about a week and a half ago. So enough preamble, let me get into actually showing you the deck. So a cool thing about this deck that I was also sort of intrigued by is that there is this new sort of box she's come out with, and the box itself then can act as an altar piece where you slide the card in. So we'll see how that works in a second. And so when you open it, it flips out from the top. And then kind of show you then when you close it, it kind of ends up being this altar piece. So I'm gonna thinking I'll put it right there. And the artwork is just beautiful on it. Now, it's my understanding that this Oracle deck is somewhat connected to her newest book, which I believe is called Your Soul Has a Plan and Your Life Is It, or something along those lines. Now, I've read a couple of the first chapters of that book. I haven't finished it yet, but I liked the depth it was bringing. It was all about sort of her journey of connecting to the great mother archetype and her descent with that, and some challenges she went through, at least as far as I've gone in the book so far. And so there just felt like there was a real depth to that book and to potentially this oracle that I was interested in exploring. Let me show you the inside of the box too. It says, um, "You are the oracle." And I love the inner detail. Beautiful. And I really like the message, any messaging around you being the true channel of the intuitive guidance that's coming through, right? It's not actually about the cards, although they are useful and beautiful tools. It's about you opening up to your own inner wisdom and to higher guidance and realizing that ultimately you are the tool. So I really resonate with that message. Okay, I think I'm going to prop this behind me so we can kind of see how that looks and how that works over there. Okay, and then let's take a look here at the cards and the book. So we have a nice thick guidebook here, and front of the book feels great. And all of this, the box and the guidebook has these beautiful gold foil details. It's quite a thick little book. It looks like it has 152 pages. And let me just kind of take a little peeky poo here. So it looks like there's a little introduction to the Oracle. There's some instructions about how to use the box and some a QR code to some more resources in there, which is kind of nice. I always like to see that. And then this oracle is divided into suits. And so it looks like there are four different suits. For the first suit is the chamber suit. Then there's the activation suit. Suit 3 is the soul inquiry suit. And suit 4 is the polarity suit. So we'll dive into that when we get into the cards. Then there's some spreads, and then we get into the card meanings. And it looks like there's about 2 pages on each card. So I'll show you guys that. We'll pull a card at the end, see what the messages are like. Now for the cards themselves, it's on this smooth matte Hay House cardstock. Has this really beautiful belly band on it. It says, "The temple is within," which I think is very true. Okay, hopefully I may have to detach this from the back. I was hoping to keep it intact, but that's okay. Okay. So these are the back of the cards. I think they're super pretty. Hopefully this can focus. I love the bright lights and gold detail. Okay, and then we also get in the front this little card that gives you the QR code again and some instructions on how to use the box, etc. And then let's start getting into the cards. And I'll show you by one. The Chamber of Forgiveness or Chamber of Forgiveness. So this is beginning in that, I think it was called the Chamber Suite. Suit. And it says the chamber cards make up the foundations of the inner temple. These temples are portals through which you can connect with the temple within. So forgiveness is the first one. Healing, chamber of healing. And I love any sort of ancient inspired artwork with like these columns. Looks very ancient Egyptian or ancient Greek. Chamber of healing. Chamber of innocence. So we see this little girl image there, and this feels very soft. This feels like it's about inner child work. Chamber of inspiration. I love that. I don't know if you guys can see the details easily because it is kind of this like soft focus image. This woman that's kind of surrounded by this ethereal light. It's beautiful. Chamber of manifestation. Chamber of power. Let me kind of see the inner power connecting upward. It's kind of how I imagine it when I do energy healing. So it's kind of interesting to see that image brought to light. Chamber of protection. Chamber of soul contracts. Chamber of soul gifts. Chamber of surrender. Hopefully that's focusing. Okay. Chamber of transformation. Sorry, guys. Looks like my camera's having a little bit of trouble focusing. Where can I hold it? There we go. Look with those, the butterfly symbolism kind of expanding out of her third eye in her head. I like that. Now we're getting, I think, into the next suit. Let me take a look at, remind us what that is called. Now we're getting into the activation suit. So it says these cards activate energetic imprints within you, opening you up to expansive new possibilities. So ancestral healing, the beauty way, the ceremony of life. Let me see. Oh, maybe that's a little better. Okay. The ceremony of life. Let me go back to that beauty way card because I feel like it wasn't focused. And the image is quite pretty. Okay. Oh, this one's beautiful. Golden. Look at that. Curious what that card means. We'll have to come back to it. The in-between, you know, the in-between times of life. So powerful for transformation. Kind of also has a very, to me, like Persephone sort of vibe with this like darker imagery, but then yet there's still like roses and flowers in it. Life force. And we see this like serpent imagery, like the Kundalini energy rising up. Mercy, sensuality, like that. Soul retrieval. I love how it looks like a little girl is holding this like essence of the soul in her hands. Okay, now it feels like we're going into a different suit. It's interesting, the art kind of changes as the suit changes. So let me look this up. The Soul Inquiry suit is the next one. These cards help you hear the whispers of your soul and get clear on how you can embody and act on them. So we have the Tall Poppy, Unhookable, the Burning Rose. Interesting. Create some space. The Darkest Night. And this is the image on the box. Feels like she's going through a portal. Hmm. Okay, Deeper Than Before. Okay, this is cool. The end is also the beginning. Isn't that true? You know, every ending is a beginning of something else. The Golden Thread. This is cool looking. The Holiest Temple. Ooh, I like the energy of this card. Just watch me. A little FU energy right there. I like that. Okay, next one is the masks we wear, projections, simplicity. Beautiful white rose. Okay, now we're getting into the polarity suit, which is my understanding from what I can see in the cards right here. It's they offer like two sides of a continuum, and it says these cards each offer two potential interpretations of a situation, so you can tune into your own truth and embrace the whole picture and the full experience of life. Okay, so the first one is aligned, misaligned, connection, separation, destiny life, I'm gonna make it focus, and fated life. It's interesting the use of the words destiny and fated. So I guess destiny would be sort of um, a, a life that maybe incorporates more of a free will concept, and fated feeling more like things are just fated and you can't change them. That's how I would guess that card is what it's referring to. So we'll see. You can take a look at the guidebook. Okay, so now we have feminine and masculine. So we have that silvery moon energy here for the feminine energy and the solar energy for the masculine energy. Trapped and freedom. That's kind of interesting. So here's sort of trapped in a bubble, and here it's like expansive and open. Okay, so then we have inner autumn, inner spring, inner winter, inner summer. And I really like working with the seasons in that way, and contemplating, our cycles of life, our cycles within the year, within our life phases in general. We can't always be in inner summer and inner spring. Sometimes we do have that inner fall where we're releasing, inner winter when we're resting and rejuvenating, death and rebirth. So I like the acknowledgement of all of those different phases of life. So then we have hold on and let go. We have the mystic and the machine, scarcity and plenty. Okay, and then last card, let's do the seen and the unseen. Okay, beautiful. I think the artwork on these cards is really beautiful. I like the fact that there are some more dark images, more intense images than there were in the coloring and in the use of like the light and the gold than there were in her original deck. I don't have her other decks, but I think most of her other decks are more similar to the Work Your Light Oracle than this one. But I like how this one's kind of a mix of some soft and ethereal images and some darker, more intense images. And I like this polarity suit. And then there were a couple of images I had questions about. Let me just take a quick peek. Okay. So I was kind of curious. I'm just going to take a quick peek on what the tall poppy means. I don't know if you guys are wondering that too, but I was curious about that. Oh, maybe it refers to tall poppy syndrome. Okay, I think I know where this is going, but I'm going to take a quick look in the guidebook and see. And then the fated life and destiny life, I'm kind of curious about what the distinction is there, and then we'll pull a card. So the tall poppy, or yeah, the tall poppy. So the guidebook it does have a table of contents, and looks like it's not alphabetically organized by each number, each card. You can find the page number for it pretty easily. So we're looking for page 80. Okay, and it is part of the activation suit. Yep. Okay, so it's part of the activation suit. And it says, the tale of a tall poppy says that the poppy that rises highest in the field will be cut down. So that's what I was thinking it might be referring to. This card appears when someone is called to be visible in the world and soar to greater heights than before. Yet they may feel daunted by the size of the call and fear negative reactions, criticism, and envy from people around them. I totally resonate with that. Shame is a tool used by the patriarchy to keep us captive. So refuse to feel ashamed, refuse to take up less space, refuse to be bound or dim. If you live in a way that attempts to appease everyone, your medicine will be wasted. Your presence being a vital note in the great orchestra of life. Reach high and rise like the tallest poppy in the field, for this is your destiny. If fear or shame or confusion or grief come, do whatever you need to do to move this through your body. Dance, sing, shake, scream, walk, run, talk to a trusted one. Don't let any part of your soul leave. Your light is needed here. And then there is an inner temple activation. So it's a like a basically looks like an affirmation to say to yourself in order to it looks like incorporate the energy of this message. And so the inner temple activation for this particular card is, I refuse to take up less space or dim my light in accordance with others' opinions. I allow the potency of my truth and my light to occupy each and every cell and take up the entire room unapologetically. Okay, I love that. I love that message. I think that's really beautiful. Okay, let me just look at this polarity suit and then we'll pull a card. Okay, so the destiny life refers to the soul path, the dream of your soul, trusting the call within, life purpose, courage, and courage will be rewarded, listening to yourself, daring and passionate, what's true for you. And then the fated life is the safe option, doing the quote unquote right thing, doing the expected thing, external influences, listening to the opinions of others, what other people want. Okay, so some similar energies as to what I thought it was. Um, and so I guess when you draw, there's a description of the card. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, but I guess when you draw the card, you're meant to contemplate, where are you on this continuum, in this polarity, are you falling more on one side than the other? Is it where you want to fall? And it gives you some questions to contemplate as to how to find balance and where is it that you want to go personally. Okay, I like that. Alrighty, let's take a quick shuffle of these cards and then we'll pull one and I'll read you the guidebook message. And then if it resonates for you, if it speaks to you, go ahead and take it. Um, and then we'll get a sense of also what another message in the guidebook is like. So they shuffle overhand fairly well. There's a little bit of a bow happening in the cards already. I think that's just kind of the way the card stock came. Very, very slight, though. It doesn't really bother me. Message here. Okay. Here's the card that kind of popped out. Ancestral healing. Okay, so let's see what it has to say about ancestral healing. Okay, we are going for okay. During these times, so much is coming up for healing. We're discovering how hurt can be passed down from cell to cell through the generations. Our ancestors are the reason we're here, and without them, our soul wouldn't be in human form. From them, we may inherit many gifts, as well as patterns of conditioning and trauma that we long to be freed from. Many of these patterns are coming to the surface now in order to be processed and healed. Sometimes those who came before you weren't able to understand, let alone process, what has thus far gone unhealed. Sometimes it takes a courageous soul with an open heart when the conditions are just right to feel in order to heal, to process in order to free themselves. This card is an acknowledgement, a nod toward the work you're doing as a circuit breaker in your family system and in the collective. You're being acknowledged for the part you're playing in the healing of humanity through healing yourself and being with what is. You're being acknowledged for the part you play in healing your ancestral line and the collective too. Maybe you're in the midst of deep ancestral healing, or perhaps you're finding your way back to the surface, having journeyed to the depths of the line you came into. Try your best to honor the gifts of that line as well as the difficulties. In doing so, you not only set your ancestors free, but you galvanize that energy and transform it into strength and to support. So the inner temple activation is I honor my ancestors for the life that they gave me, and I set myself and them free. That's beautiful. So I can really see how these would be beautiful cards to work with in your personal practice. Gives you a lot of good things to contemplate in activation. Let's try out this little box thing. Oh yeah, slides right in there. Can keep this on your altar or your desk or wherever you keep your oracle cards that you like to keep in mind and contemplate. Okay. And then, yeah, then you just kind of slide it back out. It comes out fairly easily. Okay. So I am going to leave this card since it's the message that we got here together over here. Okay, guys, thank you for joining me here for this unboxing of the Inner Temple Oracle. I am excited to start using it and playing with it. If I love it, I'll let you guys know. I'll do another video on how it's been working for me for either my personal practice or my clients, or maybe both. I might use it for both. Right now, it's feeling mostly like something I'm going to use for myself for healing and contemplation and reflection, maybe a little journaling. But we'll see if it wants to come out to play with my clients as well. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this unboxing. Thank you for spending time with me. If you'd like to see more videos about Oracle, Tarot, spirituality, healing, manifestation, self-care, and all those other things that I love and I hope you love too, please subscribe so you're notified of my next video. If you like this video, if you enjoyed this unboxing, go ahead and like this video and share it if you know that there's somebody else that would enjoy watching it as well. And I hope to see you next time here on YouTube. Have a great day.